Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're gonna be doing today. Anyways, my name is Lionhearts. Welcome back to the Crucible Brothers. Today we're gonna be going over our first build for Arc 3.0. Now we've had some time to play with all of the fragments, aspects, make up some combos. We're here, and this is a full build. This is not just an exotic combo. This is not just, use these aspects with these fragments, etc., etc. This is a full build down to the loadout and playstyle, and it is very fun, very frenetic. It is one of the fastest playstyles in the game, and it abuses Titan's newest ability in the form of the air dodge. And in that spirit, I am calling this build Dodgeball. And if you want to use this build effectively,
then you've got to learn the 5 Ds of Dodgeball. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. If you master the 5 Ds, no amount of balls on Earth can hit you.
That's right, with this build, you can access speed not previously known to mankind. You can become the most demonic, fastest, hard to hit, hitbox abusing Titan in the history of the Crucible if you combine these things together. So what you're going to need is you're going to need Striker Titan, Arc 3.0. You're going to run Ballistic Slam as your melee, dodge instead of barricade. You're going to want the Peacekeeper's exotic legs. You're going to pair this with your favorite SMG, and then, in the spirit of Dodgeball, my favorite Vince Vaughn movie, there's no other special weapon I would ever use in this build than the Dodgeball launcher itself, the Jotun. From there, it's just a matter of learning how to break every ankle in a 900 meter radius, becoming an absolute demon, hurtling yourself into groups of enemies with Ballistic Slam, and then finishing up anything that's still walking with a combination of the Jotun and your SMG. Very fun, very fast playstyle. Before we get too much more into details though, if you want to use this loadout to its maximum effectiveness, then you need to take a second, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content, and leave a comment to help out the YouTube algorithm. If you don't, then this will happen to you. By the way, just want to take a second, thank you for humoring me with all the tomfoolery in this intro. I had quite a lot of fun editing this together. So let's talk shop about how to play this playstyle. The way that I went about developing this build is, I know from previous experience because before I became known as the god of the explosive kneecap, the best Peregrine Greaves user to ever exist, I was a die-hard middle tree striker main before Arc 3.0. And that meant I became very, very proficient at how to use Ballistic Slam, do entry, get picks, and be as annoying as humanly possible, especially in endgame environments like Trials. I got very used to playing with Ballistic Slam and Missile at a high level against high level opponents. When we move into an environment like, current quick play with the SBMM issues, I actually feel pretty at home playing against other sweaty players with this kind of middle tree striker-esque loadout we have going on here in the Arc 3.0 environment. Yes, some things are different, but a lot of it's very familiar to someone like me who's been playing that playstyle for hundreds and hundreds of hours. What I wanted to do was create something that merged the new and the old. I wanted to keep the good aspects of Middle Tree Striker, embrace the new stuff, mainly the air dodge, and combine it with the best combination of fragments and aspects to create this new amalgamation that I am calling Dodgeball. Now, important to note, in terms of fragments, we are using Knockout, because Knockout combined with Ballistic Slam is one of the most broken combos I've ever seen. It's way better than Old Frontal Assault. And then we're using the other aspect that gives you the super juiced Storm Grenades on Striker Titan. This also allows us to have 4 aspects. One of the big reasons I find Juggernaut to be bait is that you only get access to 3 aspects when you run it with Knockout or the buffed grenades. We'll talk about this more in another video because I think Juggernaut is actually very overrated, and that's one of the big reasons. 3 aspect slots is not a lot, and having the 4th allows us to do a lot of cool things. Now, there are 3 mandatory aspects for this playstyle. You're going to want to run the Spark of Momentum, the Spark of Frequency, and the Spark of Resistance. These 3 are core to this playstyle. Momentum gives you old Inertia Override without the damage boost. This allows you to slide reload your Jotun while your Peacekeepers auto-reload your SMG, allowing you to keep up the aggression by never having to ever reload. Obviously, you can see the benefits of this. This allows you to keep up the pace. You don't have to worry about Jotun's long reload time. You're just constantly in the action. You're either beaming people with SMGs, you swap to Jotun, you hit him with the Dodgeball, you slide over the brick, you switch back to your SMG, it's fully loaded, you rinse, repeat, nothing, there's no downtime if you're using your auto reloads correctly, and again, that pace can stay up. And if you do have to reload, say you pick up a heavy brick or you mess up a slide, Spark of Frequency allows you to super juice your reload via melee hits. You're going to be doing a lot of melee via Ballistic Slam or Knockout. Those things are going to help you keep that reload speed as fast as possible for those times when you can't abuse the Inertia Override, or you need to take multiple duels with your SMG kind of back to back to back, no time to swap, you're just in their primary dueling. Lastly, Spark of Resistance, admittedly a little bit overpowered. Damage resistance is always going to be overpowered in PvP, and anytime you can abuse damage resistance, you should do it. Hunters do it, so Titans, come on, we gotta take advantage where we can. Put that on when you're surrounded by enemies, you get 10% damage resistance, that can make you very durable. The fourth aspect is kind of a toss-up. You can run whatever you want here. I'm running one that admittedly does nothing in PvP. It's the one where finishers make you amplified. The only reason I'm running it is it gives me plus 10 recovery, and that allows me to run a 10 resilience, 10 recovery, 9 strength build with my Peacekeepers, and that stat distribution is enough for me to sacrifice an aspect slot. But do with that slot what you will, you can run pretty much anything else here. In terms of like gameplay strategy, this build sort of has two modes. There's the Pick Diver and then the Ankle Breaker. When you're in Ankle Breaker mode, you're not so worried about using stuff like your Ballistic Slam. You're worried about your neutral movement on the ground because you want to play around the dodge ability. You're sliding, you're using that Peacekeeper speed boost to be as fast as possible. You're doing a lot of 80 strafe spam, and when it comes down to it, if you need to get out of there, you need to get to cover, you need to dodge a shotgun, you need to put someone on skates, that's where the dodge is beautiful. And I can't stress this enough, I just want to take a quick aside. The dodge might be the best thing they have ever added to Destiny. And I mean in terms of the fact that it's balanced, it's transformative, it is sick, it is fun to use, and it does not break the game. The fact that you have to give up your barricade is a huge sacrifice for Titan players. The barricade might be one of the strongest tools in the entire game. And if you give that up, you need something of equal or opportunity strength. And whew, okay, listen, I can't stress this enough. This is how I feel every time I dodge and break someone's ankles. Like, if you're someone who plays a lot of Valorant, you need to use this, because this is discount Jett. This isn't like using Top Tree Dawnblade, where you're totally immobilized, you're in third person, you're locked into this animation for a few seconds. No, the dodge is quick. It has barely any downtime, and you're right back into the fight immediately. It's short, it's fast, it's just enough movement to catch people off guard, it allows you to cross small gaps, it allows you to do so much that the Titan could not do previously. It's so fucking good. I love it. And it gets even better if you pair it with Ballistic Slam, and this is more of the pick-heavy centered focus of the playstyle. See, if you know what you're doing, Ballistic Slam is one of the most abusable abilities in the game, because you could start from absolute Timbuktu, a top corner in the skybox that no one even knows to look at. You can hurdle yourself at Mach 1 into the ground, break shields with Ballistic Slam, proc Knockout, giving you super melees if you need it. You can then dodge immediately to confuse people even further. Then you have an SMG and a goddamn Jotun. You have caused so much chaos in a span of 2 seconds that no one knows what the hell is going on. This build is a disruptor in the purest sense. I don't know if you guys can tell how excited I am. I really, really believe this build is so fun. And at the same time, it still maintains one of my favorite aspects of anything that I do in this game. It's risk versus reward. When you dive in like this, you are vulnerable. You can just get killed. You may only get 1 or 2 picks and then get traded out, but you're playing so aggressively that it doesn't matter that you may not pull off, like, you know, we ran out of metal kill streaks or get like super high KDs in your games. I don't care about that as long as I'm having fun. And this build enables fun in a way that feels kind of rare nowadays, because usually you have to force yourself to play what other people are running. You have to run scout rifles when they do. No time to explain when they do. Play around hand cannons and snipers when they do. But this build breaks that mold. I will play this on any map. It does not matter. The first map I tested this build on, I played on Disjunction. Disjunction sucks, but I became a demon around the B control zone, controlling those underground tunnels, shooting lemons over cover with my Jotun to snipe people from far away. I made it work because the build was just worth it in that regard. And then to top it all off, you have storm grenades with the aspect of thunder, making the storm grenades chase people. That's great for crowd control. And then Ballistic Slam is just a solid super. I don't like the normal Striker Titan super, the Seismic Slam. I find the hit range to be a little bit scuffed. So I'd much rather use a one and done super that counters every other super in the game. Missile, it just works. It's simple, it's beautiful, it's very mobile, it's hard to dodge, it's hard to kill. It's just a fantastic super. Okay, as sort of a closing note here, let's say you're someone who doesn't like SMGs. You have options here. You could totally run Dune Marchers and your favorite weapon instead of Peacekeepers and an SMG. The Dune Marchers still give you sprint speed, slide speed. You lose a little bit of the neutral kind of walking speed that Peacekeepers have, which is really nice, but you're still getting a similar effect where you're going to be moving faster than your opponents, which is really key to this build. And as a benefit, you now have Dune Marchers, so your knockout punches are chaining lightning, your ballistic slams can get multi-kills. It's a build I abused a lot back in the day, especially for trials. Obviously, Dune Marchers, they're very popular, I don't have to tell you about that. But if you don't like the Peacekeeper playstyle, just switch to Dune Marchers, run whatever weapon you want, and you're pretty much running the same build, just slightly differently. Alright, I don't have much more to say about this build. Normally, obviously, I recommend you try everything we suggest, but I recommend this build especially strongly. Just as a quick aside, obviously, the Crucible's not in the best spot right now, especially for normal quick play, but, you know, the big thing I'm trying to do this season is not really focus so much on the things going on around me, but what I can do in my own personal playstyle to maintain having fun, maintain my own personal growth as a player. And one of the big things I'm coming to is I just want to play builds that I enjoy no matter what. I'm not going to worry about the fact that everyone else is going to use the strongest playstyles no matter what. Yes, does it make me want to bash my head in every time I die to No Time to Explain? Yes, but there's nothing really I could do about it at this point. Bungie's either going to balance these things out or remove SBMM, and I can't really control what happens regardless. I can only control my reactions to it. So I focus on running builds that make me enjoy playing the game because the base gameplay is still so enjoyable. And a build like this allows me to play my own playstyle, something that diverts from what other people are doing. It's extra aggressive, it's very forward, it's in your face. It forces those No Times to play more uncomfortable or push me with a shotgun. And if you push someone with a shotgun who has a omnidirectional dodge at their hand, they have the advantage. I can just dodge backwards and your shotgun's going to do 5 damage. That's what I really like about it. So I recommend you give it a try, especially if you're struggling out there. We'll have a bigger video on SBMM out soon. It's also Iron Banner this week, so we're working fast on an Iron Banner guide. Eruption is fantastic, by the way. This build is broken in Eruption. Straight up. Play this build in Eruption and you will do fantastically. That's about it, guys. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel for more, and we will see you guys in another video very soon. Later.